When I left you at the end of part 2, my father's oldest friend had just finished telling us the truth about a decision my father made 40 years ago. He had walked away from a business partnership that would have made him wealthy because one of the partners had once hurt someone my mother loved. He had never mentioned it, not once, not in 40 years. My mother had her hands over my father's. The table had gone quiet in a way that felt less like silence and more like something settling. What I haven't told you yet is what my father said after that, when the dinner was finally over and it was just the 4 of us left at the table. Me, my brother, and our parents. He said there was one more thing. He said he had been meaning to say it for years, and that his oldest friend's honesty that evening had finally made it possible. He said that the third partner, the one he had refused to work with, had a son who had grown up in the same city as us, completely separate from our lives, but not so separate that my father hadn't kept quiet track of him over the years. He said the young man had built something good for himself, quietly and honestly, which my father considered a kind of proof about what a person can become when they're given the space to try. He said he had written that young man a letter 5 years ago, anonymously, recommending him for a position at a company my father knew well. He had never told anyone. He said he did it because the mistakes of a father shouldn't follow a son who had nothing to do with them. My brother asked if the man knew who had written the letter. My father said no, and that it was better that way. I have thought about my father differently since that evening, not because of the business deal he walked away from, or the money he never had, but because of the letter he wrote, anonymously, to a young man whose father had once hurt someone he loved. That was the shape of him, all along, and I had simply never seen it clearly enough. His oldest friend left that evening with a handshake that lasted longer than usual. My mother made tea before anyone went home. My brother and I drove back in the same direction, but didn't say much. Sometimes things are too full to talk about right away. My father turned 70 that evening. He went to bed that night, knowing that the people who loved him finally knew the full shape of who he was. I think that was the best birthday gift we could have given him, even though none of us planned it. If you followed all 3 parts of this story, thank you for staying. If you want to hear more stories like this one, stories about the people we think we know and the things we find out when it finally matters, subscribe to Served Right. The next one starts tonight.